Hello everyone, welcome to Inconvenient Truths. I'm your host, Jennifer Zeng. I'm sure you all read the news about the attack on a Japanese school bus in Suzhou, China on Monday, June 24th. This is the second attack on foreigners in China in 2 weeks. The CCP said that both incidents were isolated and China is still the safest country in the world. Is this really the case? Today, we will talk about the social background of these 2 attacks and why the CCP is trying to foment anti-Western sentiments among the people. One very important conclusion is that it may also be related to the CCP's preparation for war. The latest news is that 55-year-old Hu Youping, the Chinese lady who was injured trying to stop the murderer in the attack on the Japanese school bus, died the day before yesterday, June 26. The Japanese embassy lowered its flag and half-mast in her honor. Only after her death did CCP finally release her name and reluctantly announce that she would be posthumously awarded the title of Suzhou City Courageous Role Model. However, in the official announcement, it was only said that she had found someone armed with a knife at a bus stop and immediately rushed forward to stop him, but was stabbed several times by the suspect and unfortunately passed away despite efforts to save her. There is no mention of the fact that she was trying to protect a Japanese school bus and Japanese children. We must add here that if she had not stopped the attacker with her life, we couldn't imagine how many children on that bus would have died or injured. There were more than 50 Japanese kids on the bus. They had no ability whatsoever to defend themselves. So what would happen if the attacker had not been stopped? Why didn't the CCP mention the fact that Hu Youping died because she was trying to protect the Japanese children on the bus? I think there are 2 reasons. One is that the CCP wants to keep a low profile in dealing with attack on Japanese in China. And the other is that the CCP still wants to appeal to the anti-Japanese sentiment in the Chinese society that has been incited and encouraged by the officials. So the CCP does not want to link the 2, protecting the Japanese and the courageous role model, to each other. So what do some CCP's brainwashed people think about this attack? This morning, I got a shocking audio recording of a phone call made by a Chinese woman to the Suzhou Public Security Bureau, where the assailant is being held. In the phone call, the woman referred to the murderer as a hero and demands his release, stating that killing a Japanese person is as normal as killing a beast or slaughtering a chicken at home, etc. I will now play the entire recording for you. Please pay attention to the English subtitles I added.
小日本没把小日本杀死，中间呢被一个女汉奸阻止了。那女汉奸呢，她因为阻止受了严重的伤，她躺在医院里边了。然后把我们那2个小日本他们安然无恙出院了。我们的这个英雄，民族英雄周某周同志被刑事拘留了。我们想要表达一下我们中国人民的心声。因为我是一个中国人，我在网上看到的这起事件。 我想说的是，小日本来到我们中国，他没有经过我们中国人民的同意，对不对？然后小日本曾经屠杀我们中国人的时候，在咱们中国屠杀中国人的时候，他也没有遵守什么国际公法，他也没有受到什么法律的这个制裁，他屠杀我们那么多中国人，所以说现在呢，他来到我们中国，他又没有经过我们中国人的同意，那么小日本在我们中国人的这个眼里，他本身就是个畜生，我们见到小日本就跟那杀鸡一样，就跟杀畜生一样，那是很正常的一件事情，对不对？所以说呢，我们建议该这个警察只要是我们中国人民公安，对我们周英雄进行保护起来，人家没有犯罪，人家就杀畜生嘛，不是很正常吗？杀鸡一样的，对不对？这是我们的意见。
就是说，
对，
就是您的意思是要公安这边放人还是什么？
能放人就放人啊，那肯定放人。我们中国人民要表彰这位英雄的，那是英雄，那怎么能当罪犯一样去对待呢？那在我们家杀一只鸡，杀个畜生，那不是很正常的吗？畜生还没杀成，还被畜生挡着了，你说是不是？苏州、江苏南京，那南京大屠杀，那小日本来杀我们30多万中国同胞，忘了没有啊？你这种世仇能忘吗？还把小日本让他们请进来，给他们提供优质的教育资源，让他来读书，他有什么理由占有我们一寸土地一份资源？我们这么伟大的祖国，是我们毛爷爷带领着无数的先辈先烈，用鲜血和生命拼下来换下来的啊！
How's that? Shocked? As a matter of fact, there were also rumors that more than 400 Chinese people had gathered in front of the Suzhou High-Tech Public Security Bureau where the murderer is being held to demand the release of him. The police say that the murderer is a jobless man who just recently went to Suzhou from another place. I found this very suspicious. How could someone who just went to Suzhou find out so quickly and accurately when and where that Japanese school bus would stop? He didn't vigorously attack the Japanese mother and her child, who had not yet boarded the school bus, but desperately attacked the lady who tried to prevent him from boarding the bus, indicating that his goal was to board the bus and go on a killing spree. Why haven't the CCP officials released the motive of his crime until now? Now, let's take a look at some comments from Chinese netizens after the incident. On this screenshot, people either said that the murderer had done a good job and praised him as a hero, or they said that the Japanese had staged the incident themselves, and they even asked in an unkind manner why the Japanese who had been stumbled were not dead yet. In order to save time, I won't read all of them, so please read the English translation in red. The messages on this screenshot express dissatisfaction with the presence of a Japanese settlement in Suzhou, while others praise the murderer and mention that national shame must not be forgotten. On this screenshot, someone says, "We don't share the sky with our national enemies." On this screenshot, look at the bottom. There is a message from someone threatening that if you Japanese don't get your schools out of here, this kind of thing will happen again. You will regret again later. After the attack, some netizens discovered that Someone in Chinese social media platform Douyin had posted numerous videos of his long-term surveillance of Shanghai Japanese school, and this person claimed himself the #1 surveillant to resist Japan and eliminate traitors.
而今天，这样的教育，这样的民族，就在我们的身边。上海日本人学校门口这些保安，下雨穿这些雨衣，我看这造型有点奇怪啊。
So look at this picture. He has taken an unknown number of videos of his own surveillance activities in front of Shanghai Japanese school and is very proud of him. Some people don't understand and ask why he has so much motivation to run there so frequently to spy. It's actually because hate Japanese videos that get traffic, and he is guaranteed to a good income by doing so. So as to whether he really hates Japan, that's unknown, but he's pandering to the social sentiment of hating Japan. Before the Suzhou case, there were all kinds of videos of brutal beatings of Japanese on Chinese social media, which were extremely hateful, and they portrayed such behavior as brutal beatings of Japanese as righteous and honorable. Now let's check another recent video.
香港现在很混乱，你知道不？知道不知道？
Someone claiming to be a Chinese veteran questioned an American on the street why the United States was messing up Hong Kong and interfering in Taiwan affairs. When the American didn't respond to him and opened his car door to leave, he insisted that he opened the door. And even when the American drove out, he was still yelling after him, "Do you want me to pick up my gun again and shoot you Americans, shoot you like we did in the Korean War?" As you can see from this video, if that American hadn't just backed off and argued with him at that moment, it could have immediately become a fight or something more serious. I won't play the entire video here as I have already uploaded it to my X account and YouTube channel. If you are interested, please watch the whole thing later. Therefore, from all indications, the two incidents of attacks on foreigners were by no means isolated ones, but the result of the CCP's long-standing anti-American and anti-Japanese propaganda, which has led to the formation of the so-called spontaneous resist Japan and eliminate traitors groups among the Chinese people. 2 years ago, also in Suzhou, while a Chinese woman was wearing a Japanese kimono and walking on the street, she was stopped and then taken to the police station for questioning. She was accused of provoking troubles only because she was wearing a Japanese kimono. In March this year, a Chinese company producing mineral water, Nongfu Spring, was boycotted across the board, and its market value evaporated to nearly 100 billion yuan because of the Japanese elements in the style, in the product design and packaging. You see, these are the incriminating evidence that the Chinese netizens found out its logo design looks like Japan's Mount Fuji. The packaging design of one of its green teas was said to look like a tower in Japan's Suzhou temple. And some people said that the fish flag on the packaging of its green teas is also a Japanese element, which is suspected of touting Japan's militarism and insulting China. As a result, a big wave of criticism and boycott of Nongfu Spring broke out on Chinese social networks, so much so that in just a few days, its share price dropped by 5.74% and its market value shrunk by more than 3.83 billion US dollars. Since then, its share price has recovered somewhat, but yesterday it plunged again by as much as 7.37% in just one day, and I still don't know what the reason is. Another thing is, China's famous internet celebrity Ironhead punishes evil and promotes good, whose real name is Dong Guangming, especially traveled to Japan to urinate on the stone pillar of Japan's Yasukuni Shrine on January 1st and wrote the word toilet, especially in English, in red paint on it. So it took almost 2 years to go from the police arresting a girl who wore a kimono to the Chinese internet star who went to Japan's Yasukuni Shrine to film an insulting video to garner traffic. And it only took a little more than 3 weeks since that Chinese internet star went to Japan to shoot that insulting video for the attack on the Japanese children's school bus to happen. Xi Jinping has a nickname, Accelerant. It seems that under his rule, the anti-Japanese sentiment and events are also accelerating at a rapid pace. Please note that after the 2 attacks on foreigners, the CCP has not even apologized to the injured foreign nationals, nor has it given an account to the victims or the consulates of their countries about the circumstances or motives of the perpetrators. It has been intentionally covered up the truth. So why does the CCP want to create such a widespread social atmosphere of hatred against Japan and the United States and hatred against the West? Some commentators believe that it is a demonstration of preparation for war in the Taiwan Strait or the South China Sea in order to divert domestic conflicts. I wonder if people have noticed this. China's national strategy under Xi Jinping has changed dramatically in recent years, from focusing on economic development that used to rely on the international market to the current model that focuses on the domestic market or the so-called internal cycle. This change is not only about economic policy, but also a systematic and organized approach to preparing for all-out war. Nationalism has always been an important tool for dictators to deal with internal and external pressures. By fomenting nationalist sentiments, those in power can rally the people's hearts and minds to divert public discontent from economic problems. Therefore, the rapid spread of anti-American and anti-Japanese rhetoric in China in recent years is a reflection of the official strategy of channeling and exploiting nationalist sentiments. Experts within the CCP system emphasize that in the process of strategic transformation, China needs strong public opinion guidance and mobilization to ensure smooth policy implementation and social stability. By adjusting the narratives of media propaganda and amplifying the voices of anti-American and anti-Japanese, a favorable social atmosphere for the inner circle development strategy can be created. In other words, by inciting nationalist sentiments and US-hating and Japan-hating public opinion, the CCP is redefining the past economic cooperation relationships as hostile relationships. This not only provides political and economic justifications for the inner circle strategy, but also prepares favorable public opinion and a social mobilization environment for a possible all-out war. By shifting its economic development model to an inner circle one, the CCP can reduce its dependence on external markets and resources, thus maintaining economic autonomy and stability for the time being. This shift involves not only economic policies, but also tightening controls on capital flow, ensuring that national resources and wealth remain within China. By strengthening nationalism and leading public opinion, the CCP wants to maintain social stability under internal and external pressure. Many people think that Xi's policies are stupid, but they don't really understand the comprehensive shift in CCP strategy. The initiatives that appear foolish to outsiders are systematic deployments to prepare for an all-out war. Xi's policies and measures are not random. They have a clear strategic goal, i.e., to prepare for a possible all-out war. From the implementation of the inner circle economic policy to the strengthening of nationalism to public opinion and social mobilization, all these measures are interrelated and form a complete strategic system. So some say that in the face of changes in the international situation, especially the tensions with the US, Japan, and other countries, Xi's strategic adjustments show foresight in dealing with these challenges and not a foolish move. Do you agree? So, if we understand things from this angle, we might gain a more accurate insight into the CCP's current political and economic dynamics and formulate strategies to deal with it. Well, that's all for today. Please like this video, subscribe for more. Tell us what you think in the comment area or go to my website at jenniferzengblog.com to sign up for a membership or make a donation. Your support is what makes it possible for me to continue to tell the inconvenient truths. Thank you. Have a nice weekend and see you next time.